Hi, welcome to ToddTalk about the attached ADUs and junior ADUs, accessory dwelling units. Today we're going to talk about not the freestanding ADUs, but the other types of ADUs that the new California state laws have allowed us to pursue and homeowners to pursue. And we're also going to talk about ADUs with multifamily. So the attached ADU or the conversion ADU are the ADUs that are associated with the house itself. They're not the separate ADUs in the backyard. They're not the granny flats in the backyard. So these diagrams show you the difference between an attached ADU, which is a structure that's built new, attached to the existing residence or the existing structure, versus a conversion ADU, which is built within the existing building. So we'll just look at the differences here. Obviously, an attached ADU is going to give you more square footage. You have a maximum of 1,200 square feet that you can add to an existing residence, but you're limited to no more than 50% of the floor area of the existing house. So if you look at maybe a 2,000 square foot existing house, which is rather sort of on the large side for Berkeley where we are, you could build 50% of that for your attached ADU. You could build 1,000 square feet, which is a lot of square footage. Maybe a more typical Berkeley house might have an 1,000 square foot, and you'd be limited to 500 square feet for your attached ADU. The conversion ADU is limited to 850 square foot for a one bedroom, 1,000 square feet for a two bedroom. There's no maximum height, so you can put it up on the second story, and you can take over an existing garage. So those are the important things with the conversion ADU. As far as I can see, there's no real limit on the size of the ADU, so the ADU could take over most of the house. And the other residence, or the existing address, if you will, becomes the smaller component of that. There may be reasons for doing that. We haven't come across that yet. Let's move over to the conversion JADU and the attached JADU. Again, so the JADU is the junior ADU, and it's a specific, it's its own legal category. A conversion junior ADU has a maximum square foot of 500 square feet. You can see here the conversion ADU, you can see the difference. 850 to 1,000. The JDU is 500. Again, there's no height max. You can take over a garage on both of these. The big thing for the JADU is there is no, by state law, the city cannot charge you any impact fees at all. They are able to charge you impact fees, although they seem to be pretty limited at this point for the standard ADU. So if you're keeping your ADU, if you're converting, you're making you're making an ADU within your house and it's under 500 square feet, you're able to declare it by right as a junior ADU and therefore avoid any impact fees. Okay, we're doing a lot of these days. Especially, this is the kind of thing where we're taking over existing garages. Usually they're less than 500 square foot. We're doing several of those right now. They qualify as junior ADUs and have no impact fees. Okay? Let's move to an attached junior ADU. We know that the junior ADU has a square footage maximum of 500 square feet. In this case, we can attach it to the existing house, right? It can be attached to the house. If it's under 500 square feet, remember as a JDU, it doesn't, the 50% of the house, the size of the house, doesn't come into effect. So if you have a 900 square foot house, you can still build a 500 square foot attached JDU. Okay, so that's one nice thing. If you have a smaller house, you can still build at least a 500 square foot ADU, qualifies as a junior ADU, again here, no impact fees on the attached junior ADU. So that's the distinction, 500 square feet or lower, attached or detached. A junior ADU is never sorry, not detached, attached or conversion, is never a detached structure. It always has to be attached to either the house or, in one nice little trick now, California does allow a junior ADU to be attached to an ADU. So you can now build a duplex in your backyard. Kind of exciting. If you have the space for it, you can build up to 1,000 square foot, two bedroom ADU, two plus bedroom ADU, plus a 500 square foot JDU. You can have a 1,500 square foot duplex in your backyard, which is amazing. So the state has really stepped in to help with our housing shortage. Let's move over to multifamily. The multifamily is really interesting now. The state has also said, well, if you have a multifamily apartment building, and this is my little apartment building I built in a slight slope to show you that there's some area here that's sort of crawl space that the owner could dig out and put it in an ADU. There's an attic here that I've also put in ADU. The state law says that you can put it in, so let me step back. There's two types of multifamily ADUs. There's the conversion, and then there's the new for multifamily. So in the conversion, it has to be just like in the conversion over here for the ADU or the JDU, it has to be within the building envelope itself. You cannot add a dormer or anything to expand the envelope of the building. It has to be within the envelope. But you can put windows, there's all kinds of window systems to be able to put in attics that will allow fire egress, allow plenty of light. Lots of people make things called roof windows, lots of companies. So you can now we can put ADUs in these multifamily buildings. Some of these multifamily buildings have lots of attic space. We are limited, but we can build at least one per building. The size is the same as the standard ADU size. The size limits to 850 square foot max for a one bedroom, 1,000 square foot max for a two or more bed. Again, no height limit. You can put it anywhere in the building. Again, the ADU has to be built within the existing envelope. We talked about that. There's a maximum of 25% of the existing units. And so, but what does that mean? If you have a 20-unit building, you can build 5 ADUs. That's a lot of units. So let's jump down to the new ADUs for multifamily properties. So we can now build. California's law says if this property is continuing, I can build ADUs on my property, but not a part of the existing building. I'm allowed, but I'm limited to 2. It doesn't matter how big this is, I can only build 2 of these. Two new ADUs. Again, maximum size, they've increased it to 1,200 square feet for some reason. And then we have the same setback and height constraints of a standard detached ADU. So again, this is really a detached, if you will. Sorry, it's not new. It's detached versus attached, or conversion. It's really not attached, it's conversion. So we've got detached here and we've got conversion. So those are the 2 types of multifamily ADUs. I'm going to close with just some general comments about ADUs, which are very exciting. No ADU requires any kind of parking. You can, in fact, take parking away now. That's one of the biggest pieces of legislation that passed on January 1, is we now can remove parking. We can put ADUs in backyard parking spaces that are by city have declared those as part of our parking. We can take over garages. We can take over parking spaces, which is a big opportunity for homeowners. ADU applications do not trigger any code compliance, any other code compliance requirements. So you provide your ADU submittal to the city. They cannot then say, well, you need to do any accessibility improvements to the house for anything, including this, which is in multifamily. Multifamily, you have to comply with accessibility, not with ADUs. In fact, you can spend the money to do all this without having to do any ADA compliance work whatsoever. It's a very, very powerful thing. It really opens up investment in ADUs. Exterior entrances are always required in ADU. That probably sort of stands to reason. And a minimum of at least what's called an efficiency kitchen is required. So you can't just put in, say, a junior ADU in a tiny little fridge and a little stove top and use your bathroom sink. That's not a junior ADU. So there is a minimum size of that kitchen that is required to classify the building as a separate unit. That will do it for today's ToddTalk. Thanks so much for joining us.